Welcome to Tolaris University. In this video, we'll be showing you how to enroll a new user on the XPressEntry desktop application. Now, we assume in this video that you have XPressEntry installed, which you see in the middle of my screen, and that you have your handheld connected. I'll be using that to demonstrate this feature, which you see on the right-hand side of my screen. Now, to enroll a user, all you need to do is to access the XPressEntry desktop application. Go into Add Edit Info tab, which you see here, and click Add New at the bottom of the screen, which you see here, and fill out the details of the employee or visitor you want to add. In this case, I'll be adding John Doe. You can assign a company, an employee ID. Zone is not necessary. This gets set once the user goes through the gate. On the role, you can assign a role to the user depending on what type of access you want this user to have. If this user would have access to your system, you would have to assign a login, username, and password if it's an administrative role or a role that has access to the application. In this case, I'll just be assigning an entrance role. You can decide to assign a start date. This means that record will only be active from that date. And if you check this, you can pick any date, any day of the year. I can pick today, tomorrow, or you can just ignore. This is not compulsory, but it is nice if you have a visitor that's coming at a later date and you want this record to be active on that date and not before. After doing this, the next thing you have to do is to add a badge. I'll just be adding a badge that I have here, 35 BA 4A 18. You can decide to give your badge a later activation date as well, or you can activate it immediately. And you can set an expiry date. This means the badge will only be active until that date. Now, in this case, I'll just ignore the expiry date. But if you like, you can also set it maybe to a later date. This will be expired on the 20th of December. You can assign a badge type. This will be useful if you want to filter your badges. And the facility code will deal with the use of the facility code feature. It's not compulsory, but if you want, you can assign a facility code to the badge. On the pin, we'll also describe the use of the pin feature on the XPressEntry application. But if you like to assign a pin to this user, you can do so. This will be used if the user wants to use a pin to go in through the gates. You can also exempt the user from using pins on the XPressEntry application when they're coming through the gates. And once you've filled out all the fields, you can click OK. Now, the next thing to do is to capture a picture. You can either capture a picture from your webcam. If you have a desk where you enroll visitors or employees, you can just capture it directly from webcam, or you can select an existing picture, maybe one sent to you via email from the employee. I just select one here. You can decide to crop this and make it a bit nicer. If you want to zoom in the picture, crop it a bit. This is possible. Click accept. And the next thing to do is to grant permission to this user. And this is done on the permissions tab you see here. Now, there are three ways you can grant permissions on the XPressEntry application. You can either assign to a group. A group has doors and zones within it. It's a better way to assign access to your facility. Or you can assign directly to a zone, or you can add a time zone, which means the employee will only have access to a specific time frame. We will deal with this in a different video. So for now, I just give this employee full access to the system. Click add user to group to add that user. And you see it here that this user now has access to all the zones. There are other places you can add details. You can add phone number, email address, and so many other things to this record. And if you do not have all the things that you want to add here, you can also employ the UDF side of the application. The UDF is customizable, so you can set whatever you want to put here. We will deal with this in detail in a different video. Here, I just add a vehicle registration number so that this person's vehicle can be identified. After that, all you need to do is to hit save. And in a few instances, this record should be synced onto the handheld. So I just scan. You can see John Doe is granted access because he has permissions. This brings an end to the demonstration of adding a user to your XPressEntry application. Please feel free to reach out to us at helpdesk@Telarus.com for any technical queries or sales@Telarus.com for any product inquiries. Thank you.